What's for?
It's Attorney
Attorney
General,
General.
but it's really her and Patel because they're a unit,
Yeah.
The best part of Chunk's animation, by the way, is that Patel was shorter than everybody.
I know. They kind of stuck up and they're like, remember me? Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah.
But the amount of, I don't even know how to begin here. The amount of corruption that's going on with these two, from the fact that, they were part of Trump's media company, had shares in Trump's media company. He basically gave them money before they even took the jobs.
Yeah.
Even when Pam Bondi was in Florida, he was giving her money to, I'll give money to the campaign and you're going to make the Trump University thing go.
Yeah.
She's a cheap
Just
date.
like he likes him. Yeah.
Yeah. And then Kash Patel, this guy's fingerprints have been on a lot of, one of the things that hasn't been talked about enough in general by me, I think, is that Kash Patel was the acting chief of staff for acting DOD dude Christopher Miller during J6. Yeah. So when Kash Patel yesterday talked about the pipe bomber and if you're going to go against he basically made it seem like he was like anti J6 when it's like, dude, you're almost more responsible for this than anybody.
True.
That
there was 14 calls into Chris Miller's office for the National Guard, and that was Kash Patel fielding all of that, and
that's
making sure it didn't happen.
In on that,
yeah.
And he said long before on many podcasts that he was going to, not him specifically, but the Trump administration was going to go after the people. Anybody that investigated the Russia stuff, anybody that investigated J6, anybody that had the temerity to suggest that, Trump couldn't just steal money and do whatever whatever he wanted, they would go after these people. And that is that's what's happening right now with the Justice Department. And I think the main problem, what I keep landing on over and over with all the, with the stuff that we're talking about with Molly too, like, we know there's criminality all around us. It's obvious that there's criminality all around us. He's pardoning people that objectively do not deserve pardons. That if we went back in time during the Mark Rich pardon and said, should we pardon Mark Rich or these guys? They would all pick Mark Rich. That's how bad these Trump pardons are, right?
Yeah.
And the hypocrisy is off the charts, but it's like, who is going to enforce the fucking law? Because Pam Bondi isn't going to do it. And Kash Patel isn't going to do it. Unless it's, a kid who put some pipes in the thing that we're not even sure what's going on 4 years too late. But all of this stealing and plunder and going after Maureen Comey and James Comey and Tish James and firing people Mark Kelly, firing people at the FBI because they worked on Russia investigations or J6 investigations. All of this stuff this is what happens in these corrupt regimes.
That's right.
We're closer to,
while saying those were political attacks and we're not going to do political attacks. Right. And then they're going for the weaponization of the Department of Justice and then weaponize. It's not, gaslighting's not the right thing. Hypocrisy, it doesn't even touch this.
We need a new word.
This is a violent, as Molly was saying, we have to remember we're in a psyop. It's a violent act on our sense of reality.
It is.
It's intentionally so, and also making it so. What I'm not going to stand for, if we ever have a moment where this does fall, as Molly wrote, the optimism of it, and there's a chance to address the crimes. There is no. For me, this is where I'll get real loud, even louder than I am. There's no we don't want to pursue any of those folks that were in that past administration because then that just sets a precedent where they'll when they're back in power, they're going to come pursue us. It's like, no, they already did that. And they're the criminals. And by the way, we have got to pursue this and literally investigate every single thing, especially all of the money. Especially all of the money.
There's a lot of money.
Not just the insurrection enabling, not just all of the stuff that got thwarted for Jack Smith, not just all of that, but the vast sums of money that are just being pilfered and jammed in their pockets with using positions of the state. They're not even in a position. Jared Kushner's not even, he's not even anything. And he's going and negotiating deals to enrich himself and enrich Trump. We've got Don Trump Jr. enriching himself. I think those cheapos that got bought out, Bondi and Patel, I don't think they know how to enrich themselves. There's something fundamentally wrong with them that they're, he's like, Kash Patel's only willing to stick his neck out and take these huge risks now for some girlfriend, and fly the planes around for the girlfriend and yell at people and then hide on a plane himself in Butler because he forgot his jacket like a kindergartner. He's left his jacket at home. He doesn't have his jacket. And he needs his FBI jacket. Get me an FBI jacket. It needs to have the proper symbols on it. And they bring him something that's it's a woman's, has it, but it's a woman's jacket. And he understands it's a women's jacket. And he loses his shit, right? Because he can't keep track of his jacket.
This is real, by the way. This
is real. This is a real story. Yeah. It's like, give him his fucking Franklin the Turtle lunchbox from Pete Hegseth, right? A packet full of his special snacks and treats, and find this kindergartner's jacket. This is what we're dealing with these people. So it's not only that they're just absolute clowns. It's not only that they just sit there and all they do is fluff one another for an accomplishment that's not even their accomplishment. It turns out even this J6, he went in and he turned himself in. Now that report's coming out. There was no big investigation. They just stood up there and took credit for everything and made their proclamations, which we knew were lies and falsehoods because you're the people who helped create the fucking insurrection and mapped it out and enforced the plan, right? When the plan was falling apart left, right, and center, Kash Patel, boy, he stuck to the plan, didn't he? Made sure that National Guard didn't get deployed. So it's it's not gaslighting. It's an assault. It's an assault on our sense of reality. Intentionally so, by the worst people on the planet. And they're not stopping. They're doing it all. It's like what we sort of touched on with Molly there, but go across the board. Every single thing, the destruction of all of these agencies, everything. My mom said they're leaving no stone unturned when it comes to their corruption and destruction, except for the rocks that they crawled out from under. This is what we're dealing with.
It is. Now, to be fair, if I was Kash Patel and I had a girlfriend, I would be very, very make sure that she didn't leave. I would do everything in my power.
Apparently, it's mana for him. Like, it's like, this is it.
He can't believe that a girl likes it.
And where is she from?
We're not going to say. We don't want to get in trouble. So the